So, Republicans, answer me the following question if you could, please. What would be the reasoning for this?
Indiana State Senator Gary Byrne doesn't want your daughters to know what consent is. That's right. Today, in Indiana, State Senator Gary Byrne got language stripped from Indiana House Bill 442, which is the sex ed bill, that, quote, would require the teaching of the importance of consent in sexual activity. I wonder why he doesn't want your daughters being taught the importance of consent.
I don't understand how we could possibly not agree to consent, to teach that as part of human sexuality. It protects both boy and girl, man and woman. We are talking about teenagers that sometimes don't learn that they can say no. So to me, this is just, we're protecting our youth. And so I need an explanation why you would take it out.
Well, again, the school board's local control on that issue. I don't disagree with what you're saying.
But we can also do it.
But we're going to allow it to local control. I really don't have time to go into much more debate on that, but I understand your concerns and appreciate that.
Senator, I just had a simple question. Can you identify those localities where it's a problem to talk about consent? Because I'd like to know.
No,
and I think the people who live there would like to know whether the issue of consent is somehow debated among men and women in that district.
Yeah, well, I will say I will leave it, me personally, I want to see it left up to local control on that issue.
I mean, so there must be places where they don't want to talk about consent when you're dealing with young women and their rights. Where are those places in my state? You're insulting our state.
I understand your concerns.
Holy Moses.
Do we have one last chance here for...
And, as usual, the Republican putting forth this horrible removal of wording, doesn't want to answer questions about it. If your answer, as you saw in that video, was it should be left up to the local control, then what you're saying is you believe that if a local government, if a local school board decides that it is wrong for them to teach in their sex ed classes about consent, then you're okay with them not teaching about consent. Once again, it is a conservative male who doesn't want things like consent to be discussed. What would be the reason why you wouldn't just include it in the state level package? If you're a school district in this country and you're going to be teaching these sex ed classes, you must also teach about consent. Why would you not want consent taught? And don't give me this shit. He said, well, I agree with what you're saying. If he agreed, he'd leave it in the state level bill. He wouldn't leave it up to a local school board to decide on their own to remove the teaching of consent. Do you guys understand what consent is? It's when a woman can say yes or no to sexual activity. So what I hear is that this Republican representative at the state level wants to potentially have women growing up in the state of Indiana who don't understand that they can say no to a man's advances. Check this man's hard drive. And Republicans, explain to me why that's a good thing.